Good morning, family, and win forever. I would like to share with you my testimony. I was with Prophetess Anne and her team for the Good Friday and Easter services in Malawi, Africa. I spent there a whole week. I attended all services. I would like to share with you some of my various spiritual experiences. My first revelation, and I may even call it a visitation, was on our way to the church. We were a small group in the bus, going to prepare for the services. I was in an attitude of prayer, and for a moment I saw a vision. I saw Prophetess Anne in the church where we headed to. She was on the stage, looking at the congregation, and at the same moment Prophet Joshua was standing on the altar. He spoke to her softly but with authority, "Go." I heard only one word, "Go." She didn't look back, but sensing it with her entire heart and spirit and realizing that it was God's calling, Prophetess moved in the midst of God's people to minister them in prayer, healing, deliverance, and prophecy. It was a very bright experience for me. I meditated over it for a couple of days. In a few days, it was on Saturday, we were in the church shooting the hymns. As a choir, we were on the stage before the altar. Then there was no congregation inside. We were about 20 of us. Suddenly, behind me, I sensed the presence of someone very big and very strong in the spirit. I knew it was not a human being presence because there were people around me. I felt it was a spiritual presence. In some moments, I had a chance to look back, and there I saw the image of Prophet Joshua for a couple of seconds. To me, at that same moment, it was a deep witness that I am at the right place with the right people. When I was reflecting over the second vision, I remembered the story from the Gospel on how Jesus walked amidst a large crowd of people, and the woman that suffered from bleeding touched him. And he was asking, "Who touched me?" His disciples didn't understand what he was talking about because they thought that a lot of people were around him and many touched him. But he said, "No, I felt power leave me when someone touched me." When I was reflecting over this vision, I understood that this vision was very spiritual. I knew it was not a person but a spirit being. My third experience took place during the Sunday service when Prophetess Anne, Essence of Worship singers, and the choir of Glorious Light International Church led the whole congregation in worship. I was among the people in the sanctuary. I knelt down, and at that point of time, I looked towards the platform and captured the hazy presence, as if some mist was coming down the stage. It was the state of a tangible God's presence. In a blink of an eye, I received an evidence of what it was. I realized that it was the one whom Prophet Joshua worshipped. It was a word sent to me. It was a word of knowledge. I could hear it in my spirit. The one whom Joshua himself worshipped is here. All these experiences were so powerful. For a couple of days, I was meditating and praying over them and had an insight that they were about succession. They remind me the words of Apostle Paul. "Therefore, I urge you to imitate me as I imitate Christ." He spoke it in a few epistles, and I realize that the example Prophet Joshua displayed to us, the way he followed God in everything, all that was taken over immensely by Prophetess Anne. I know she spent many years by his side, was educated by him. He was grace for her. This testimony was also powerful for me because I have no doubts in following her as a woman of God, the way she followed Prophet Joshua. I know that by his own example, Prophet TB Joshua nurtured in her a personality we can follow now. We can go in her path after that prophetic spirit, after this anointing. And why this kind of a witness was so important to me? As I meditated over it for some time, realizing why God confirmed it to me over and over again and again, it turned out that it was because when I came into contact with the ministry of Prophetess Anne in August 2022, by the mercy of God, I took part in the first interactive prayer with her, and for the whole prayer, for the entire service that occurred that day, I could sense that same presence I was so familiar with at Vescoan during my visits in the days of Prophet TB Joshua. I had grace to be there for a couple of times. I cannot mix it up with anything. When I got in contact with Prophetess Anne's ministry for the first time, this experience was very keen. It attracted me so much, and always from the very first instant it associated with fatherhood, with mentorship. This is why these 3 visions I had in Malawi are so crucial and precious to me. They nullified any kind of human doubts that could visit my mind. Glory be to God for His mercy and His grace, for His revelation and His word that He gives to His people.